Mitch McConnell just lashed out at the idea of making Election Day a federal holiday, and also, I believe, giving government workers who want to help out with the polls, I think, a week off or a day off or something like that. And he absolutely lashed out, and it exposes the truth, which we already knew about Mitch McConnell and conservacunts. So this is from The Hill. Here is what they said. They say Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on Wednesday blasted a key House Democratic proposal over a provision that would make Election Day a federal holiday. Quote, "This is the Democrat plan to restore democracy? A brand new week of paid vacation for every federal employee who would like to hover around while you cast your ballot? Just what America needs. Another paid holiday and a bunch of government workers being paid to go out and work for, I assume, our colleagues on the other side on their campaigns." It says McConnell has repeatedly lashed out at House Democrats' anti-corruption bill, known as H.R. 1, as a, quote, political power grab, and has pledged that it will go nowhere in the GOP-controlled Senate. And it says McConnell on Wednesday criticized the bill as the, quote, Democratic Political Protection Act, that it would create a Washington-based taxpayer subsidizing clearinghouse for political campaign funding. Quote, their bill would make Election Day a new paid holiday for government workers and create an additional brand new paid leave benefit for up to 6 days for any federal bureaucrats who decides they'd like to hang out at the polls during an election. So here's the stunning admission made. This idea that it's some sort of a political power grab, right? That's what they're saying. They think that making Election Day a federal holiday is a power grab by the Democrats. And the reason why is because every time voter turnout is low, and basically there's a correlation of lower voter turnout equals better for the Republicans, especially because old people, obviously are far more likely to vote than young people. So the reason why, why wouldn't you want Election Day as a holiday? Why would you not want to vote? And this is what pisses me off about Republicans. It's like, we could have such a better democracy. Like, for the fuckers who claim to love democracy so much and want to, spread the democracy sperm all across the world and fucking, flood them with the sperm of life of democracy, you have a really shitty one. Like, your democracy is ass. And we're trying to make it better, but you cunts are blocking us from doing that. So what are some of the things that I'm talking about here? One of them being making Election Day a federal holiday so people can go and vote. And the whole point, and this is my opinion, I don't know if this is prevailing opinion or not, I think that a democracy, aside from having a fair and legitimate democracy, which is like legit, it's not fake, like Erdogan voting, he has this question that he gives out to the people, and they do this poll of whether or not he should have his power increased. And then, oh, wow, they voted for it. And it's like, oh, wait, all these election watchdogs are like, dude, you faked that shit. So aside from that, I think the better a democracy is dependent upon how engaged the people are. So I think a democracy is better if more people vote and are engaged and a part of it. That's what I think. And so when you talk about making Election Day a federal holiday, that totally makes sense because you want people to vote. You want people to engage. Another huge reform that we need is automatic voter registration. Why do we not have automatic voter registration? I believe it's France that has automatic voter registration, and I believe their turnout is higher than ours. And so just, automatically register everybody. Why do you not already have that in place? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why do you have to go out and register? Why don't you just automatically register people to vote? That doesn't make sense. Why are you adding another hurdle for people to vote? And you know the reason why, right? The reason why is because it benefits Republicans. It benefits one side far more than the other. And so the Democrats cannot give up on this. They need to stand strong and fight these corrupt fuckfaces who not only do these kinds of things like being in opposition to basic common sense election reform, but also voter suppression has been their tactic, forever, ever since the civil rights movement. And that's part of the reason why we have poll taxes. One of our, banning poll taxes is one of our constitutional amendments, and why there was the grandfather clause and all this other shit. So these fuckers are doing this because they think it's a power grab, but really what we're trying to do is be like, hey, motherfucker, this is an objective, legitimate thing. And if you can't win when the more people take part in the democracy in the country, that's on you. That's on you. You've got to win over the people, buddy. Sorry, you got to do it. And then another one, which would be awesome, is ranked choice voting. Because if you do ranked choice voting, basically, that eliminates the fear of third-party wastage in terms of votes. Because once that third-party candidate is eliminated, then your vote goes to the Democrat. So there's no more, like, I think people call it a spoiler. That doesn't exist anymore. Because once that candidate's out, boom, it goes to the Democrat. So no more of this bullshit, oh, Jill Stein, fuck you. No more of that shit, okay? That doesn't exist anymore. Those three things are very key electoral reforms, which the right, the Republicans, don't want to pass because it does not benefit them.